On Global TV News Express, Minister sets 2030 target for 90% of Nigerians. Kwara Poli denies suspect who killed club owner. AFCON 2023, Super Eagles know AFCON opens today, plus US assures Israel of support. Today, plus US assures Israel of support. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers at home and around the world to Global TV News Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. Stakeholders in the health sectors on Wednesday emphasized the need for intensive vaccination drive. The call was made in Abuja during the third quarter review meeting of Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on PHC Delivery, organized by the Federal Ministry of Health in collaboration with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Sharon Ajay, who was at the event for Global TV, now brings us the details.
Dr. Pate commended the Northern leaders on behalf of the federal government on their effort to eradicate wild polio virus and the commitment to improving the lives of people across the country over a 12-year period, with evidence of only a tiny minority of children living with polio.
We're here to reflect on the progress that has been made, and the Chief Executive of MPHCD articulated some of those important progress that we have accomplished. We have made a lot of progress on the polio, on routine immunization, but there's still a lot of things that we need to do going forward, including the residues of circulating mutant polio virus in at least some of our states, particularly in Zamfara State, in part of it, but also in parts of Sokoto State, which we are going deeper to deal with. There are areas of our country where children still are missed, that have zero dose. I think those are also an area that we will continue to explore how we can double down, and your support in that direction will be very helpful.
The health minister, however, acknowledged that there is more work that needs to be done, saying this is only a phase of the movement as more impact is required, particularly in states where children have zero dose of the vaccine. He assured that actions are being taken, all aimed at preventing the spread of the diphtheria outbreak around the 19 states where it has been detected.
98% of those who have diphtheria, children that have diphtheria disease. So if those children had the ED mentioned, there is no discrimination because it spreads from one person to the other. So we are committed as government to bring it under control. That is why I set up an emergency task force led by the Executive Director of MPHCD and the Director General of Nigeria Center for Disease Control and our partners to aggressively work with the state government.
On his part, the Sultan of Sokoto, Sahad Abubakar, appreciated effort geared at facilitating the effective administration of the vaccine all over Nigeria. He extended his gratitude to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as well as Aliko Dangote for their immense contribution.
The first 1 year of this committee, they couldn't believe within 1 year there is a drastic reduction of polio cases in Nigeria. So they wanted to see how we do it. The rest is history. But from that March 2009 to now, we get never been back. And that's why at all times, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are always there with us, helping us, supporting us, ensuring that we get funds to do our jobs.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Senate has directed 5 of its committee to commence investigation into oil and theft and its impact on petroleum production in oil revenues in the country. Kikelomo Okiri reports that the committees which were given the mandate on the floor of the plenary include petroleum upstream, downstream gas, Niger Delta, and that in charge of host communities.
The resolution was reached after the debate on a motion sponsored by Senator Ned Nwoko and 2 others. In his debate, Senator Nwoko noted that in March 2023, Nigeria lost over 65.7 million barrels of crude oil valued at $83 per barrel, translating to revenue loss of 2.3 trillion naira as a result of oil theft.
The motion is for urgent need to investigate the incessant and nefarious acts of crude oil thefts in the Niger Delta and the actors. In March 2023, Nigeria incurred a substantial loss of 65.7 million barrels of crude oil, valued at $83 per barrel, translating to a staggering revenue loss of 2.3 trillion as a result of oil theft.
Contributing to the debate, other lawmakers highlighted the need to address the issue of oil theft and its attendant consequences on the environment and economy of Nigeria.
What I would suggest is not for us to continue to lament or set up inquiries. My suggestion, Mr. President, is that given the seriousness of this situation, and I will dare say before the new government, its agent gets sucked into the tradition, this is the time to stop it.
In supporting this motion, if you look at it, there are a lot of salient points he made. He said the bunkering started in 1970. We are in 2023 now, which means that's 53 years ago. Up till now, we've not been able to solve it. He said 2.3 trillion is being stolen every year. That's a lot of money. How much is even the budget of Nigeria? The biggest problem we have in this country, Mr. President, is punitive measure. All these things that are allowed to eat. A colleague of mine now was contributing. He even said at his backyard, he has been arresting people who are bunkering, doing bunkering at his backyard, but nothing has happened.
In his remark, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who also alluded to the issues raised by the colleagues, urged the investigative panel to come up with a lasting solution.
Into the actions of security forces, militia groups, the local populace, oil company employees, and any individual or entities suspected to be using sophisticated methods to pilfer our oil resources from the oil facilities within our country. Those in support of the prayer one say aye, those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The committee were given 6 weeks to conclude work on investigation and report back to the plenary. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
Minister of Works David Umahi says President Bola Tinubu has approved all proposed interventions for the rehabilitation of East-West Road. Umahi disclosed this after a closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja. That his administration will flush out elements within the government's causing delays in road development across the country. Oyi Agbomofuegbe has it.
According to the minister, the president also gave approval.
And they have two equipment on site, it can no longer be the same. We have minimum requirement of equipment on site for a particular work. And if you don't have it, you will leave the site. Nobody can hold this country to ransom. Nobody. Our local contractors are advised to wake up. And then you come here, you say you are putting modifier, And we are witnesses that in the 50s, the road constructed on asphalt in the 50s were much more durable than what we witness today. So this is all that we are saying. We are not saying people should not, construct roads on asphalt. But if Nigerians are saying they should not have value for their money, the road should be continue to be constructed every year, the same road, then it's very unfortunate.
He warned that contractors who fail to comply with the alternative use of concrete pavements to build more friendly and durable roads across the country will have their contracts revoked. Citing the failure of asphalt, especially in the north-central and entire southern part of the country, Umahi added that the use of concrete pavement will make the roads last longer, curbing insecurity on highways, guarantee Nigerians more jobs, and boost economic activities across the nation. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
Labour Party presidential candidate in Nigeria's 2023 election, Peter Obi, says President Bola Tinubu's lingering certificate issue with the Chicago State University has further worsened the glorious image of Nigeria internationally. Addressing the journalists in Abuja, Obi asked President Tinubu to again tell Nigerians the school he attended if he participated in the one-year National Youth Service Corps. Sharon Ajay has the details.
The Labour Party presidential candidate also called on President Tinubu to reintroduce himself to the nation and the world at large, rather than outsourcing that responsibility to political surrogates.
To the outsiders of further doubt, he should let the world know his name, his nationality, his place of birth, his parentage, the primary and secondary school he attended with dates, as well as the actual universities he attended and certificates obtained. He should indicate clearly where and when he did his national youth service. It is no crime. This is a simple task that will take only a few minutes. It requires no affidavit, prolonged court process, spokesperson, agents or surrogates. The task is one that only Chief Bola Tinubu himself, through a direct personal statement, can perform.
The former Anambra State Governor maintains that having occupied the highest political office in the country, President Tinubu no longer has a right to any privacy regarding his identity.
In his present capacity as a leader of a nation of over 200 million Nigerians, his true identity is a matter of grave national and international interest.
Suspicion that the certificate of the former Lagos State Governor submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, may not be authentic. During a press conference last week after the president's academic records were released to him, the former vice president who is challenging Tinubu's election called on Obi, Rabiu Kwankwaso and other Nigerians to join his quest for justice over the matter. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo commissioned 15 rapid response firefighting vehicles and 16 heavy firefighting with the renewed hope agenda for the president. He challenged authorities of the fire service that their operations should go beyond firefighting, that the service must also forecast for impending fire outbreak and other disaster. The minister stated this on Wednesday at the commissioning of the firefighting vehicles at the headquarters in compliance with fire safety mechanism. The Controller General of Federal Fire Service, Engineer Jaji Olola Abdul Ganiyu, commended the minister for his visionary leadership and efforts to modernize the service with the state-of-art equipment and data harmonization to raise the bar of internal security and citizens' integrity for Nigerians to have a sweet experience. As part of efforts to ensure safety of capital, while parading some criminals arrested for various crimes ranging from murder and kidnapping to illegal possession of ammunition, the first public relations officer, Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Muyiwa Adejobi, says the police will not relent in addressing the rising cases of insecurity in the territory. Kikilomo Ukeri has the details.
During the parade, DCP Adejobi explained that operations carried out so far by officers of the force have continued to yield positive results as 54 suspects were arrested, some of whom were already facing prosecution in court. He added that 92 firearms, 760 live ammunition, 14 vehicles, 1 RPG among others items were recovered.
Supposing that he wanted to have sex with the both of us. So we now propose the car sex to him, everything. We got on the bed with him. He allowed my friend tie his hand and tie his leg. He was even the one that raised up his leg for her to tie in. That we were in a room and not in a car, because normally we thought that if we were in a room and not in a car, because normally we thought that if we want to have car sex with somebody, it cannot be in a public place that people can easily see or hear. But because it was in a room, so we were already thinking about what we're going to do, in case maybe he starts shouting or something.
Paraded, who confessed to the crimes, were 5 suspects connected to the kidnapping of a Swiss national, Diego Tana, in Federal Capital Territory.
We asked him to pay us our salary. Me and my younger brother with the rest staff, we asked him to pay us our salary. Then he said that if he did not pay us our salary, are we not going to work? And all this kind of stuff. So I asked, I asked him and said, if the Nigerian man should try this in your country, you will behead him. And you are trying this in my own country. So he replied me and said, you want to behead me? So he left me. He went to work and went to his brother, this man named Xiang Jiawan, and told him to drive me and my brother away, that we the ones that used to tell the remaining staff not to go to work if we don't have our salary. No food and another thing. So,
Registrar further urged all polytechnic stakeholders and press members to verify anything tagged with the institute before circulating it. The U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, vowed on Thursday that the United States will always back Israel, but said the Palestinians also had legitimate aspirations not to represent by militant group Hamas. Paying a solidarity visit as Israel's army Hamas over the weekend, attacks that killed 1,200 people in Israel. Blinken also gave a new death toll for the U.S. citizens, saying at least 25 were confirmed and eventual peace set. Grace crypto maven Sam Bankman-Fried was the mastermind and criminal conspiracy, and if convicted could face a de facto to cope with the massive withdrawal request from customers' panic to learn that some of the FTX fund has been committed to risky operations by Alameda Research, Bankman's personal hedge for fund. Ellison was CEO with the prosecution. China. She was met at the airport by the Foreign Minister Penny Wong, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said, announcing her release. Chen Leng, 48, who was working as a business reporter for China's state-run English-language TV station when she was arrested on 13 August 2020. She was later accused of illegally supplying state secrets overseas. Her charges were never made public. Shen was freed as frosty relations between Canberra and Beijing appear to be towing. Tensions between two countries deepened during the pandemic, which led to a Chinese ban on Australian exports like barley, coal and timber. Those blocks were lifted earlier this year, the first sign of the gradual easing of the diplomatic impasse. On Wednesday, following Chan's release, Albanese says it will facilitate his trip to China at a mutual agreed time this year. He added that Cheng has been reunited with her two children in Melbourne. On a sad note, another earthquake has hit western Afghanistan just days after two large quakes in the same region killed more than 1,000 people. The new 6.3 magnitude quake struck at around 5:10 local time on Wednesday, 28 kilometers north of Herat, killing at least one person. More than 100 people were injured and taken to hospital, health officials said. UNICEF said more than 90% of those who died in the weak earthquake in Afghanistan were yet clear, but many people were sleeping in the open after their homes were destroyed on Saturday. The chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, has said engagement is ongoing in the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to ease access to foreign exchange so that marketers can import petrol into the country. This is as NNPC has again reverted to being sole importer of petrol as the foreign exchange crisis persists. This is coming barely 5 months after the company said it will no longer be the sole importer of petroleum into the country. The chief executive officer of the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said yesterday to foreign exchange issues have not allowed private companies to import petroleum products. According to Kyari, the NNPCL has once again become the sole importer of petrol since private companies cannot access foreign currency due to shortage issues. However, Farouk, who met with representatives of oil marketers yesterday to resolve the challenges faced in the importation and smooth distribution of petroleum products in the country, says the internal restructuring ongoing on CBN, there will be a solution very soon. Well, that's it on Global TV News Express, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, on StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Fauziya Lukman, thanking you so very much for watching. Have a great day.